Hey, my name's Steve Jaguar. Welcome once again to a kind of weird episode of BeerNative TV. Let's go. All right, as I said, my name's Steve Jaguar, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe and do all that stuff. Otherwise, though, let's get into it. I'm going to be reviewing a new, what I thought was a new brewery. It's not really. It kind of is, but it kind of isn't. And that's where it's a little bit suspect. So I don't know what to expect. I guess instantly I'm thinking, I'm not going to like this. But then a part of me is like, give him a chance. It'll be okay, Steve. And that brewery, well, is called Disruption is Brewing. We can check it out here. There it is there. Very cool kind of art, kind of wacky. The way they write that in their can, that's why I did that. And let's take a look. Let's look in the fridge, all right? Just here, and you can see the way I wrote Disruption is Brewing is like that. And there we can see the text. It's 5% New England Pale Ale, Chaos, tastes phenomenal. Nelson Sauvin, Mosaic, and Citra, which actually sounds like a really nice mix of hops. And they're talking about mango blueberry. That's a very specific flavor that I associate with sours. So, tropical flavors. It sounds awesome, right? The artwork's a bit chaotic, which I guess is living up to its name. Oh, let's get it on the camera. There we go. It looks good. It's cool. I like it. I like it. I got this from Phil at Just Beer, and that's probably a pretty good time for me to jump to that. Yes, thanks to Beers UK, you can get 10% off shopping there using the BeerNative coupon code. And they gave this to me, although they don't sell it there anymore. Or yet. I can't remember whether it's anymore or yet. So let's crack it. You can buy it. Just search for... Let's just search for Chaos, More Chaos. That's the actual name of the beer. I should have made that clear. It's on the front. Chaos, More Chaos. Disruption is Brewing. You'll find it. Let's dump it in there and take a look. See, I'm trying to get faster at the actual brew tasting. Now you have to stick with me after. I'm going to show you where it gets brewed. And that's when you'll go, oh, right. Look at the head. I think I poured that a bit aggressively, but it is very frothy, very carbonated. Nice color though, right? Oh, it's got a lovely nose on it. My mouth watered when I smelled it, so. Yeah, it's tropical. There was a slight bit. Oh, Nelson Sauvin. Yeah, there was a slight bit of. I was gonna say like almost like not almost like a Chardonnay, but Nelson Sauvin is supposed to be Sauvignon Blanc, but whatever. All right. Oh. Okay, so there's a lot on the nose, the tropics. On the palate itself, though, it is pretty cold, and I think I nailed it. I got the temperature quite right. I was a little worried it was too cold, but it's pretty good. It's got a kind of a late funkiness to the malt. It's a little hazy. I don't think that's accidental. But New England is associated with haze, but it's not like chunky hazy. Mouth feels a little sharp. And it has kind of a bit of a late kick of like sage. That's new. I probably haven't said that recently because I think I had a whole bunch of it recently. But not quite pine, but more of like a mintiness to it. But it's good. I think the mosaicness of it, mosaicness, is that a word? I've heard people recently describe Mosaic as having this faint taste of cooked onions. And if you look at the show where I had Rob, my friend Rob Noonan on the show, he doesn't like that. And I could see why someone would say late on that odd funkiness is like, but I love cooked onions on a burger. Like, it just washes over me, and then like I think of that as a plus. The Nelson Sauvin Citra are heavy on the nose, but they're not too strong on the palate. I'm not getting a little tiny bit of grapefruit, but not too much. Just generally sharp. The sharpness of the mouthfeel is kind of letting it down a little bit, but generally it's good. Hot summer day, probably glug a few of these. They're only 5%, so that's kind of nice. So I'd say I'm probably going to give it about a 7.5 out of 10. It's not bad. I don't think it's particularly expensive, but we'll have to go find that out. You have to stick with me on that one, right? So 7.5, Chaos More Chaos, Disruption is Brewing. And if you want to learn a little bit more about it, and if you like Citra-based, I'd say strong single Citra hopped ones, you're probably going to like it. It's a bit poppy. And given we're about to have a much nicer weather, I think this is a good beer for it. At 5%, it borders on being a session. But I'm going to dash over here and I'm going to show you the dark secret behind Disruption is Brewing. Ooh, you ready? All right. This is who actually brews it. Ascot Brewing Company. Oh my God. Look, the Royal Ascot. Take its the ties and the pompousness and the flibby flabbies and the handkerchiefs. That's my best crack at being posh. But you can see just here, there's the brewing, the brewery logo. So Ascot Brewing Company, they make, let's go to the shop. They make kind of typical real ales, but they also launched, so you can see almost dominating their site at the moment is, well, there they have best of both worlds. Let's look through there. And we can see, look at all the horse racing starting gate, 5/4 favorites, and then the one I'm drinking, Chaos More Chaos, this kind of Mexican wrestling guy, Double Down. I have one of these wrestling guys in my fridge too. That I wonder if that'll be good. What's it called? Battle Royale. That's what it's called. And so you can see Anastasia's 5/4 Frontrunner. These are all like, they're so real ale, up your backside posh. But imagine that doesn't mean they're not good, right? It's just something that, it's a society thing that I just don't relate to. But they obviously worked out that, oh crap, we have a brewery, we can do this. Why aren't we doing this guy? There it is. There's Chaos More Chaos. And we can see the description there, a little slightly larger, right? More hops, more flavor, more juice, more chaos. But still quite calm. They didn't extend, they know their audience. They've not cranked this up until like the 6.5%. That would have really made this a real cracker. They've made it in that not so sure middle ground between being a real ale but an inoffensive craft ale. There's no way that they're going to go over 5%, are they? They're not going to alienate their audience. It's a gateway drug for the posh real ale camera lovers into craft. And maybe that's a good thing, right? Maybe we need more of that. So that's the history of it. You can buy it from them, as you can see. Let's see, what, a 5-liter keg. Oh, all right, that's not too bad. I like that. I only want 1 can. So £4.30 for this can is a lot. I'm not sure it's worth £4.30 because it doesn't exceed a supermarket version. You could go to the supermarket, you get a beer like that, no doubt. So let's put this back on. Right. So let's do the full rating now. And I think this is on packaging. I actually really like its art. I think they've done well with the all black top, all black can, paper wrap on it, and some really wacky art. I love the Battle Royale art as well, so I know that it's not a one-off. They're focusing on a kind of a wacky theme. So whoever's in charge of marketing there and artwork, nice work. You are definitely throwing off the shackles of the Ascot sort of vibe and tone there. So I'm going to give you a 9 on art. A 9 total on art and packaging, because both aspects are quite good. In terms of uniqueness and accuracy, I'm not going to mark it too high because it's pretty bland. It's normal. It's relatively normal, very like what I would expect from there's been a lot of that. The real ale companies who realize that somebody's eating their lunch and they jump all over it and go, oh, let's just take our golden ale, like Robinson's. I would probably never review a Robinson's beer because they make brown beer in a bunch of different labels. They're just the most boring brewery ever. And I have no doubt they have a craft line, which is just their brown beer in a can. So they haven't done that, it doesn't seem. Not immediately. This is good enough that it passes as craft ale. It's missing some of the hallmarks of it being like having that craft beer soul. So accurate, I'm gonna give it a middle of the road 3, and probably on uniqueness, even a 2. So I'm gonna give it a 5 on that. It's pretty harsh, but too bad. And so that was a 9 on packaging. Great packaging, just boring content. That puts it up to a 14, and I gave it a 7.5 earlier, which is a 21.5. That's okay. Out of 30, that's going to throw me on Untapped in some rather unusual number. What would that be if I did the math while we're speaking? Out of 30 times, I have to do the math. I love that you can just put math into Google. Yeah, that's okay. That's a 3.5. I don't know what it is on tap on average, but it's all right. Not blowing my mind. So there we go. Now you know this dark secret behind this new, if you see it in shops, Disruption is Brewing. You know it's actually made by Ascot. You know that now you're drinking posh sauce, but it's craft beer posh sauce. And it's not good. We got a heat wave coming up. If you can find it less than £4, buy some. If they do have it at beers.uk, use the code BeerNative and get it down to below 4. And then, yeah, that's worth having a go at it, right? Otherwise, yeah, not bad. I look forward to seeing a little bit more, but I think I'd be keen to see them maybe get these things under £4, and then we're talking. That's more of the value. Or maybe get it up to around 6%, so I feel like there's some value for money there. All right, that is the end of that one. It was nice to see a new brewery, both Ascot and Disruption is Brewing. And hope you enjoyed that. My name's Steve Jaguar. That is the end of reviewing Disruption is Brewing, Chaos More Chaos. Hope you enjoyed that. If you're new to the channel, give me subscriptions, give me some love, share it with your friends, and that is it. I'm done. Thanks for watching.